Hello guys, thank you here, and this is the Neru's build. Now without further ado, let's get started with this. Before we begin, I'd like to mention this, but if you guys want help support the channel, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, and if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section down below. So without further ado, let's get started. So for this build, we'll be using Takamas for our mobility modules, the bird for our headsets, the balls for our hanger, bird for our thrusters, Saki Mikazuchi for our utility module, Al 222 Jagafs for our primary arms, the graph for our right rear arms, and finally the gas for our left rear arm. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take this build out for a spin. So with this build, basically you kind of want to have to stick close to your enemies as much as possible. It's kind of the reason why I decided to equip birds for this. So generally, you kind of want to just mow enemies down with Shagafs, and if you don't go down after your use your Shagafs, then ideally you want to have to finish them off with your gas, as such. Unfortunately, this enemy right here had a little bit too much health, and I wasn't close enough, so I wasn't able to take her out very quickly. So the idea with this build is to actually basically kind of play like Neru from Blue Archive, if you've ever played Blue Archive before. I'm not sure if you guys actually remember this, but during one of her story missions, there was a moment where you actually got to see a little bit of Neru's fighting a little bit. Basically, during that story, basically got close to her enemies and rather close to Alice in particular, and basically just ran her down with her machine guns. Well, that's basically how you kind of want to play as this character. Yeah, in general, you kind of just want to just sort of hug your enemy and try to run them down as much as possible. And if your enemies are a little bit too far away or you don't want to take any risk, you can always use your craft to actually hurt them a little bit. Or you know, if you're dealing with an enemy that's a little bit too quick. Yeah, but generally, you kind of want to use your superior ground mobility to get in real close and try to run your opponents down. Yeah, with this build, you kind of want to have to actually rely on using overheat to actually deal down to your opponents, or in particular tougher opponents. I need to do that. But yeah, generally you kind of just want to get in as close as possible. The other thing about this build is that you're kind of tanky, so kind of make things a little bit more easier to deal with. Not to mention, you tend to mow things down pretty quickly. Like, even against, like, elite enemies, so you tend to deal with them pretty easily. Generally. But that's kind of the general idea with this build. You kind of want to actually just kind of zoom around and just shoot things up front and personal. The only downside with this build is you're not particularly mobile. If anything, this build is mainly focused on combat in general. Like, if you ever place like the upturned forest, yeah, you might have a hard time trying to maneuver with this build, but the bright side is it's pretty easy to maneuver around with this build. If anything, you could actually use this build for fighting against hostile nymphs. And some of these I'm not gonna bother picking up because, well, they're kind of just extra items here and there that I don't really need. And then I'll just leave them there just in case. Yeah, generally kind of want to use your left arm shoulder to actually mow things down. More or less. Basically, the Yats is actually pretty good at doing that, just finishing enemies off. Right, there should be like an elite down here that we can try that one. Yeah, the only downside with this build is I kind of want to be careful about long-ranged enemies. Yeah, long-ranged enemies is where this build kind of falls off. But fortunately, enemies like that are few and far between. And if they are far away from you, you can always just go up to them and run them over with your Shagafs. Or you know, you can always use your grabs if you need to. Maybe grabs is actually pretty good for you got enemies from afar, or just really quick enemies, more or less. But yeah, that's kind of the gist behind this build. If you're too far away, just use your grabs, basically. But for most enemies, you kind of just want to close up on them and try to hug them. Try to get behind them as well. It's actually a good technique you can use when you're using this build. To try to close the distance between you and the enemies. In general. In fact, I think there was a lead like right back here that we can try this out on. So yeah, But generally, when you're just dealing with elites, just try to get behind them as much as you can. As such. But yes, yeah, that's pretty much the whole gist of this build. There are a couple things I would like to show off as well, apart from this. So, if you'll excuse me, I go ahead and head back. All right. So I don't usually show this off as much, but if you're wondering what like equipment I am or like what I'm using for obtaining this kind of look, I'm basically using the standard Gardenia uniform. It's one of the uniforms to start off with. The Fox front hair, the BH back hair. By the way, you can get this from the devs. This one you just buy from what's her name again? Elp, I believe. And this you can also get from Elp as well, the SFG FC. And if you're wondering what color patterns I'm using for this, I'm basically sticking with a light skin color with the overall look. Same thing with the body main color. Body sub color went with the black look. And just in case you want to actually look at these, I'll just go ahead and leave these for you. There you go. That's the values this is the values I'm using for like my overall look. This is for my body subcolor 1, my body subcolor 2, my body subcolor 3. These are the values for my hair color. This is the value for my hair color gradient. This is for my hair highlights, optional looks, and this is for my eye color. So yeah, hopefully you got through all of that, and if you didn't, then feel free to pause through like all of this so you can actually get a good look on the, or at what values I'm using. Now as for my outfit value, well, I guess we can go through these one at a time. So for me, this is what my outfit looks like, my sub looks like, what my inner looks like, and what my glow looks like. So yeah, feel free to pause through all of that, just so you can get the color values for all of these. Yeah, this is basically pretty much what I've been like using for like most of my or most of these builds so far. So yeah, in case if you're curious and like want to make your character look a little bit closer to my character, then feel free to actually just look through those values again. But anywho, I think okay, the right arm's a little bit different. Anyways, oh wait, I forgot one thing. My primary arms. Like, okay, yeah, all the colors for my equipment set is pretty much similar looking to what I'm using, but as for like the primary arms, it's a little bit different. So yeah, this is the main color for my primary arms, the sub color, the inner color, and the glow. So hopefully you got all that. If you didn't, again, feel free to go back and pause the video for each of these so you can actually get a good idea what the values look like. But anywho, yeah, that's pretty much it for this episode. I'm not sure like if I'm gonna keep going, if I want to keep continuing with these videos, but if you want to keep me motivated in making these videos, feel free to leave a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, and also feel free to leave a comment in the comment section down below, just in case if you have any questions or concerns about these videos. But anywho, yeah, if you do all that, I think I might be a little bit more motivated to continue on with these videos, but if not, then, well, that's fine. But anywho, yeah, I think that's going to be it for this one, and hope you all have a good one. This is going to be Tengu, signing off. Bye-bye.